Is it true that this single name has reshaped the global entertainment landscape in 2026? And could this decision ignite the biggest debate ever about popularity, influence, and the true meaning of a global artist? Jimin was officially named the most artist of 2026. Do you feel it, that vibration that makes your chest tighten and your fingers hesitate before reading the next line? Because once again, this single name has shaken the world and forced all of us to ask out loud, who truly deserves the title of the most influential artist of 2026? And why does this decision feel like an unstoppable explosion? Before you continue, write your opinion in the comments. Do you agree or do you strongly reject this coronation? Don't forget to press like if you are ready to read until the end and subscribe so you don't miss every heated story that will open your eyes and stir your emotions. At the beginning of 2026, the entertainment world seemed to pause, not because of scandal or tragedy, but because of an announcement that triggered tears, cheers, anger, and silence all at once. Jimin was officially named the most artist of 2026. A sentence that sounds simple yet carries a seismic weight beneath its surface. This announcement did not arrive as an exaggerated fairy tale, but as a chain of realities that had long been accumulating, about hard work unseen by cameras, about mental pressure rarely discussed, about a spotlight that never fades even when the stage lights go out. Many asked, is this only about popularity, streaming numbers, and glittering awards, or is there something deeper? Something that makes the name Jimin feel inevitable when 2026 searches for a face to represent its era. This question is not mere clickbait, but a doorway into understanding how the global entertainment industry has changed, and how one individual can stand at the center of that storm with unexpected calm. From the beginning of his career, Jimin was known not merely as a performer, but as a symbol of sensitivity and strength walking side by side. Year after year, he built a reputation that did not rely on momentary sensation, but on emotional consistency delivered through his work. When 2026 arrived, the world had already witnessed a massive shift in how music and art were consumed, where honesty became the most valuable currency. At this point, Jimin's name emerged not as an empty surprise, but as an answer that time itself had been quietly preparing. Yet make no mistake, this coronation did not come without controversy. Voices questioned the definition of most artist, heated debates erupted across social media, and long analyses attempted to reduce achievements to statistics alone. But it was precisely within that chaos that the true meaning of this title became clear. Jimin did not stand as a flawless figure without cracks, but as a human being brave enough to reveal vulnerability before millions of eyes. In an era where images are often excessively polished, this courage became a rare form of power. The year 2026 also marked a phase of artistic maturity that felt bold and fully realized. Every performance felt like an intimate conversation between Jimin and his audience, as if there were no distance between the stage and the heart. Many admitted they found pieces of themselves in the songs he delivered, in movements that were not only precise, but filled with meaning. Was this coincidence, or the result of a deep understanding of human emotion honed over years? That question continues to echo, inviting us not just to consume, but to reflect. Behind the camera flashes and massive headlines lies a narrative of discipline bordering on cruelty, of personal time sacrificed, and of relentless pressure from expectations that never fade. Jimin faced not only industry demands, but the weight of millions of fans who saw him as a representation of their dreams. When he was finally named the most artist of 2026, many cried not out of shock alone, but because they felt a long and difficult journey had finally been officially acknowledged. What makes this moment so emotional is the realization that this title is not an ending, but a marker of a journey still in motion. In interviews and public appearances, Jimin has often emphasized the importance of growth and honesty with oneself. This message resonates deeply in a world that constantly demands instant perfection. In his own way, he reminds us that process is part of beauty, and that wounds and doubts can coexist with success. When we look at the global reaction to this coronation, it becomes clear that its impact extends far beyond music or entertainment alone. This is a cultural phenomenon, a reflection of what this generation truly values. Many found inspiration to dare to be themselves, to work relentlessly even when results are not yet visible, and to remain gentle in a world that is often harsh. This is why the title of the Most Artist of 2026 cannot be understood through numbers alone, because emotional influence cannot be easily measured. Across social media, personal stories began to surface about how certain songs helped someone survive difficult times, about how certain performances gave courage to rise again. All of these stories formed a living mosaic of real influence. Jimin did not exist merely as a public figure, but as part of a collective emotional experience. In this context, the coronation felt like recognition of a reciprocal relationship between an artist and his audience. Of course, criticism followed. Some argued that titles like this risk overshadowing other equally talented artists. Yet this debate opened an important discussion about diversity and dynamics within the industry. Jimin himself never claimed absolute superiority, instead consistently emphasizing respect for fellow artists. This attitude added another layer of depth to the meaning of the title, transforming it from a symbol of ego into one of responsibility. As 2026 continues to unfold, one thing becomes increasingly clear. This moment will be remembered not only as a headline, but as a point of reflection. The entertainment world chose to spotlight values of empathy, perseverance, and honesty through the figure of Jimin. Do you see this as progress, or as a mirror of a collective longing for someone who feels human amid all the glitter? Once again, we throw this question back to you, because the true meaning of this coronation lives within the discussions we build together. In the end, Jimin was officially named the Most Artist of 2026 is not merely a sentence of victory, but a story of journey, of emotions bravely displayed, and of a bond forged between one individual and the world. If you still feel an emotional pulse after reading this far, don't stay silent, write your reaction. Do you agree with this title, or do you hold a sharper, different view? Like if this story touched you, subscribe to continue following narratives that are unafraid to provoke, because great stories live through the courage to speak and to be heard.